Hello and welcome to another episode of Gunj. Today we have with us coordinator and community manager of Exploring Economics, Lilli. I welcome Lilli with warm hearts, and with that, I also put the first question forward to Lilli without any delay. Lilli, why don't you tell me more about Exploring Economics? What is
Hmm.
it?
Hi, Ritam. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy that I can be here to tell you more about our project. So, Exploring Economics is an online learning platform which is accessible throughout the whole world, and it's also bottom up. So, every one of you can shape it with us. And um, our aim with this website is to promote pluralist economics education. So often economics are being taught in a one-sided and monodimensional way, and they lack innovative teaching methods, and um, yeah, it also lacks different perspectives. So there's a problem, and it's mostly being approached by a neoclassical approach. And we try to offer a variety of perspectives so that you can um, look at a problem from different views. And we don't say that there's one single right answer, but you always have to look at something from different viewpoints. Um, yeah. So in Exploring Economics, we provide orientation pages with the different schools of thought of economics. And then there's a discover section where you can find different types of material like podcasts or videos, um, foundational texts, or texts that have been written by students like essays or dossiers. And then we also have a section with books and encyclopedia articles. Also, there's MOOCs, like massive open online courses that you can attend. Um, yeah, and then we also have different possibilities for you to take part in our project.
Okay, so what I gather is like exploring economics is a place where one who may or may not know about economics and then they can start out and look for the different economic perspectives, be it classical or Keynesian or neoclassical, and then get to know more about that on a level that they are starting out with. Like they may be a beginner or an intermediate or advanced level. Is that
Exactly.
so? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we have different levels so that you can really start from scratch. And it's also meant that you can also read the text when you don't come from a economics background. So we want to make it very interdisciplinary. And it also promotes a platform for the people who are interested in it, and you can also meet other people to exchange on these different issues.
Okay, that's really great to know. So, moving ahead from the first question, so why don't you tell me, how did exploring economics start out?
Mm, so I was not there from the start, but um, the website was launched in 2016 by it. Yeah, it started as a project from the network of pluralist economics in Germany. So it's an association of different local groups. It's like a German rethinking economics network, and they thought it would be very useful to have a website that allocates this information and material for students to shape their own pluralist curriculum. And from there, we got more funding, and then the website was growing, and we now have currently 4 languages also: Spanish, French, German, and English, of course, so that we try to diversify the website also, and to also bring it to the global south. Yeah.
Yes, so one thing I've noticed during my stay at exploring economics is that there's a huge amount of importance given to the global south. So, do you mind elaborating on that?
Yeah, so we can see in the books that are being used in the universities that um, it's mostly men who are being quoted there, or um, who are being used as inspiration. um, and it's also mostly coming from Western countries or English speaking countries in the global north. And we believe that this is really a problem because it doesn't address the problems of the whole world. And um, if we look at our globalized world today, we really have to take into consideration that there are different topics also important, like unemployment in India, for example. So, um, if we only listen to the people who are teaching in the global north, then I think we underrepresent um, many opinions and issues. So we really try to diversify the content that we have on our website, also to yeah to make it more inclusive and to show that if we want to tackle the challenges of today and climate change, for example, we really have to make it more inclusive and um, start looking from yeah more countries' views. Yeah,
More like a bottom up approach, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. And we try to give a small people or yeah small topics or topics that are still small a voice and try to rise this and to make it more public and try to advertise in our social media also.
Okay. So another thing that I picked up during my stay there was exploring economics was referred to as the Netflix of economics. So how did that terminology came around? So what's the
Hmm.
story behind that?
Yeah, it's funny. Some people, I think Rethink Economics said this to us. So when you go through the Discover section, for example, we imagine us sitting there with a cup of tea or coffee in the evening and trying to search for a nice movie or something. And you can just browse through Explore Economics and find different topics, different content, and you can really get inspired there. And when you're reading an article, also you can find related content. So that we want you to have an enjoyable time there, and yeah, also have a very diverse offer there.
So economics and chill.
Exactly. It's a little bit nerdy, but I think it's also looking really cool. And um, I find that you can also, when you find something nice, you can also share it with your friends as you would share a nice movie with a friend.
Yes, that's very true. And I have shared a few of the uh, materials I found there with
Mm-hmm.
my classmates.
That's
So
cool.
for some assignment, so they found the website really cool. Like you can use it just like Google and then get results for
Mm-hmm.
economics related stuff. So
Yeah, and you
that
don't
was
have to
very cool.
browse through the whole internet, but you have it
Yes,
everything
because
there.
when you Google, you get different answers, most of the time unrelated answers. But when you go to exploring economics, you find the specific answers that you are looking for.
Hmm. And what I have to add here is also that we ensure certain quality. So we have an editor team, and um, you can submit material that you find on the internet, and then this material is being reviewed by our editor team, and it has to be reviewed by, or yeah, positively reviewed by 3 people. And if there's any rejection, we have to speak about it and discuss it. So we really make sure that we also only upload material that we think has a certain good quality.
So, kind of living up to the level of a peer reviewed journal. Maybe not as much, but even
Exactly,
though.
yeah, it goes through a peer review process.
So, there's
Like
credibility in the material that's been found by someone.
exactly, yeah.
Okay, moving on. Let me ask you a personal question. How did you come to be associated with exploring economics?
Mm, so I was studying sustainable business, and we only had 2 small modules about economics. But I was very lucky to have a teacher who told us to get our information from Exploring Economics, and I didn't know this website before. And I had to give a presentation on ecological economics, and yeah, then I started to browse through the website, and I thought, wow, this is massive and another world to me somehow. Started following them on Facebook, and then I found a job offer. So this is how I got in there. Mm, yeah, so I mostly come from a business background, but I'm also really interested in the pluralist economics now.
Almost same as me, I also came to know about exploring economics through our economics teacher. Not directly,
Mm-hmm.
but they shared a reading material that had a mention of rethinking economics, and from rethinking economics I followed them because that's also a very good platform for pluralistic economics, and from there
Exactly.
I got to know about exploring economics.
Yeah,
So kind of
amazing.
jump from one pluralist
Mm-hmm.
medium to the another one.
Mm-hmm.
How has it been working with exploring economics so far?
Great. So what I really love about Exploring Economics is that I get in touch with people from all over the world, who are also eager to change something in the system, and that are critical towards many opinions, and that you can have great discussions. Mm, Otherwise, it has been nice because we work online, so I can also have my meetings from different places. So I also went to Egypt for 9 months, for example. So I was working from there. And yeah, also sometimes we meet people in person, then it's even nicer to speak to them and to exchange. And yeah, I think it's also a nice feeling to know that you're part of a bigger something, and um, yeah, that we are working towards a bigger purpose together. And I really like this bottom up approach also. So it's also hard sometimes to organize the work with so many volunteers, but it can also be really rewarding, I find.
Yes, exactly. I mean, even we have faced running our podcast some difficulties when it comes to volunteer and even
Mm-hmm.
working on a online platform or online space, or rather I say our online world right now. So it has its own uh, set of difficulties. But then again, it's cool because if we do things online, then we also have a chance to meet uh, interesting people like you, and come across other such interesting
Yeah,
avenues.
I mean, you're in India now,
And
you're so far away,
anyway,
but
speaking of being part of
yeah.
something bigger, what kind of impact do you reckon exploring economics has had so far?
Mm, so we can really see in the analytics that people from all over the world access our website. So we are spread in many different countries in almost all continents, which is really successful, I think. Um, and I think it's really this impact to make this material accessible to um, a broader public, and also to empower people in the global south to have their own projects. So we also empower people there to do a global pluralist economics training, for example, so that you're going through a training to lead your local group in your country or in your city, and to promote events there and so on, how to lead a local group, and how to speak to your professors in university, how to change the curriculum and so on. And I think really this empowerment of people is something great that we do. And yeah, also on the other hand, to really have this allocation of material, and to that you don't have to go to Google anymore and browse through a mess, but that you can go there and have a really nice experience to find material that is interesting and relevant also.
Mm-hmm. And do you have more such projects such as global pluralist economics training?
Yes, so since 2019, we started to do the Explore Economics Editor Experience. It's like an onboarding program to become an editor in our team, so that you go through a 3 to 4 months experience, and start learning about the backend system that we are working with, how the peer review process works. Then we have different working groups about the different um, related topics, so that you really have the opportunity also to meet other people who are interested in this. Yeah, so this is how we ensure that we have a stable editor team also, because we always get new people coming who start studying economics and yeah, want to contribute a little bit more to explore economics.
Yes, and I guess that would also give people or students a way to connect with more people from around the world and learn more about
Definitely.
economics that is going on
Mm-hmm.
throughout the world. So sounds
Yeah.
very interesting. Would you elaborate on editor experience and how does it work? How do people join there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so um, currently the application period for the editor experience number 5 is starting. So you can go to our website and go to the participate button, and then you will find become an editor there. So there you will find a very nice introduction in what it is all about. And yeah, so you will first get to know the team, you will get to know the other editors who applied there, and you just have to show that you have an interest in heterodox economics or in a specific topic, um, while you're like a small expert in it. But also it's fine when you're just interested in learning more about it. Um, yeah, so you don't necessarily have to come from an economics background, and you should try to have like 2 to 3 hours volunteer working hours per week, because we have some meetings, and then there will come some, yeah, little task sets for you where you can start to get to know like how to submit material, how to review material, how do we work together in working groups, how do we structure our communication through Slack or the Zoom meetings. And then there's also little workshops um, with different speakers. So last time we had a um, workshop on decolonizing economics, I think. But there's also informal meetings and time to get to know each other, and like wine and economics formats where you go to a virtual room and meet other people. So yeah, it's a mixture of working together, but also just to exchange and have fun. so that at the end of the experience, you're able to work with us and become a senior editor. And then throughout the year, there will always be material being submitted, and then you can work in a decentralized way and yeah, try to put up new nice material for Explore Economics, which you then can see in our Discover section.
Right. So basically, working together and learning together while being part
Mm-hmm.
of something bigger at the same time.
Exactly.
Sounds really cool, and well, I can tell that it is cool because I have been part of the experience from May
That's true.
to July. That was a really good experience, though I have missed out a little bit because at the time I had some university work also going on, so I missed out on the wine and economics part because the time zones really did not match. So it was like 12 a.m. by the time
Yeah,
wine
this
and
is a
economics.
problem that we are facing. Like, we don't know how to tackle this problem of different time zones yet. So maybe we
Yes,
have to
time
make
zones
like,
has been a problem while
yeah,
working with international
maybe we have
groups.
to make like regional meetings or something like this once the
Yeah,
editor
we
team
also
is
had so
bigger.
many interviews and uh, discussions cancelled because of clashes in time zones. So
Yeah,
one person would have flight at 5 a.m., but then it would be like 8 p.m. here. So really
yeah,
just there was no working around that time zone.
yeah, yeah.
Well, talking of Slack, Zoom, and the online experience, so I have to ask, how was it organizing the editor experience during COVID-19?
Mm, well, to be honest, we didn't experience so many difficulties through it because we have been working online, yeah, before COVID also. Mm, but I can also imagine that people got a little bit tired during the experience because there were so many, yeah, there was so much offer online, and I think people also got a little bit tired of online events and yeah, having this small talk online and meetings. Mm, yeah, and I guess it's it people really need to have this personal contact also, and I hope that people can go to university again soon and then still have this parallel digital experience with meeting people internationally. But I I don't think that it's good for us as human beings to only um, yeah, live
I
and
guess so
study
too,
online.
because
Yeah.
since everything has shifted to virtual mode, then one more volunteer work that to virtually kind of adds on to the stress that we have been
Mm-hmm.
facing throughout. And then it's kind of spiritually tiring as well, knowing that so many people are going through such hard times, and not just
Mm-hmm.
around you, but in the around whole world. That's
Yeah.
kind of tiring as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I hope that everything turns out to be okay in the world as soon as possible. And
Yeah.
my thoughts and prayers to the ones who have lost their loved ones throughout
Yeah.
these hard times. And
Yeah. Let's
uh,
hope for the
I have,
best.
yes, so I have one last question. Apart from the things that you have mentioned, so what are the plans of exploring economics moving ahead in the future?
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, so we want to implement more encyclopedia articles so that we have like a small encyclopedia section. And yeah, so the plans are also really to put up more material in different languages, to address more teachers also, so that they can upload their syllabi and course material, because we really believe that also the teachers have to include this material in their lectures. And yeah, maybe it can help them to have some offer online already, which they can refer to instead of starting everything from scratch. Um, Also, there will be a summer school in next summer again, and I believe we will also do another global pluralist economics training. Mm, yeah, I'm also inviting you to do a writing workshop also in your local group. So if you have an idea for your college, for example, um, is there a certain topic that you want to do a writing workshop on? You
Mhm.
can also get in touch with me because it's also possible that you as students produce your own material, learning material for other students, which can be
Mhm.
uploaded. Yeah, so we have many ideas, and if you have any more ideas, we are also happy to hear more from you because this is how exploring economics is, yeah, shaping
I mean,
itself. We always rely on your
yeah,
opinion. Yeah.
it was good hearing the ideas. I mean, because going forward, we need to kind of keep evolving to manage with the time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Talking of ideas, I guess I also had one spontaneous idea. When you were saying that you would be opening up the platform to teachers to introduce or add their syllabi, I guess if possible, teachers can also volunteer some time uh, to organize maybe a international class of what they're teaching, maybe just to
Mm-hmm.
give the international students an idea of what's being taught around the world, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe students can have a broader idea of what's going around.
It would be cool
And
to
I
have
guess
like a course from different countries and different lecturers, like an online course that you can do on pluralist economics, for example.
yes, but I was not speaking in terms of a course, but more in terms of an experience. So
Mm-hmm.
in my college experience, so I have been bound with the professors that our campus has to offer, and
Mm-hmm.
other students have been bound by the professors that their university has to offer. But once in a while, maybe it's good to break out of that bubble, and it
Of
would be good to
course.
attend some other professor's class, and
Mm-hmm.
then just see how it's been learning. And also it would be a good way to meet new people who are learning, and then discuss with them and then learn from them, or maybe just
Exactly.
even make new friends. That's also
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. So we somehow um, have this growing already because there's another project called the certificate project, and they are trying to um, allocate courses from different universities. And you, as a student from Western Germany, you can also attend an online course or a seminar in university in Berlin, for example. And you can also get credit points for it. And yeah, you can try to organize with your university that they assure that you will get these points. So yeah, but to have this on a more international level would also be a really cool idea, I think.
Yeah, sounds really cool. And
Yeah.
giving having credits and stuff, I guess, would
Mhm.
motivate more students to join there,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
yeah, some kind of a motivation, be it certificate or credits, has become necessary.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. And then also there's this demand from universities. I don't know about Germany, but in India, there's kind of a demand for certificates and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because many colleges in the universities have like a compulsory requirement for like internship or stuff like that. So kind of being forced on us. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but then it is been. So we have to do a month worth of internship, and then show the college a certificate like we did this thing. So if you want to say something. a message to our listeners.
Yeah, no, I believe exploring economics is super complex and diverse, and it's best when you just go and check it out yourself and find your way of participating or consuming content or yeah contributing in a certain way. And if you're interested in joining our editor experience, it will start in November. You can apply now, and we will read your application. Yeah, and then I'm happy to meet some of you guys soon.
Yeah, I hope some of our listeners do join the editor experience. And with that, we have come to the end of our episode. Hope you have listened. Don't forget to check out exploringeconomics.org. Just open up Chrome and search for that. And they're also on Twitter. I'll be linking there. I'll be linking your Twitter in our description in the podcast, so
Perfect.
people can just check that and click on that link if they want to give you a follow. Meanwhile, also remember, if you haven't followed us, I'll be leaving links below, so do follow us as well. And Lily, it was a great pleasure having you on our podcast. Hope you'll come back for more such interviews like that.
Thank you so much for the invitation. It was my first podcast, and I really enjoyed speaking to you today and yeah, sharing my experience.
Okay, so with that, I guess that's a wrap.